I wanted to share this story ASAP, but I couldn't settle my emotion. Now, finally, I can share this story. Recently, I witnessed SCJ members few times on the street doing NB. Even they approached me several times. There are few reasons I couldn't settle my emotions. The biggest reason was I had ambivalent emotions inside me. That day, I was so shocked and disconcerted. I cannot forget that moment. I was on my way home after I finished my work. Two people approached me showing their cell phone screen. If you have ever experienced SCJ or was a formal member, you will definitely notice them. I haven't met SCJ members doing MB for a while, so I didn't expect it to happen. I was so disconcerted that I couldn't even remember what that person said. They explained things to introduce themselves, and of course, they don't normally reveal themselves as CJ. But what made me more disconcerting was that one of them was friend of mine when I was in SCJ. Quite close friend. I often went to her house and slept there. I was so busy with HWPL works, so I couldn't spend much time with her even though I was with her. I remembered I slept at her house and the next day we went to Sunday service together. Anyways, I feel a bit sorry when I think of it. I forgot her for quite a while, but all of a sudden bumped into her. At first, they approached me together, but right after she recognized me, she stepped back. Ever since I left SCJ, my hairstyle totally changed compared to the past, and I was even wearing mask, but she immediately recognized me at first place, which proves we were close. All of these happened in a flash. Lots of feelings arose in an instant. Disconcertment, astonishment, sadness, longing, concern, and etc. Actually, I was much more sad than happy when I saw her face. How come I met her all of a sudden at this place? It's a bit embarrassing. How should I react in order not to hurt her, but also make her contact me after she leaves SCJ? They are still doing NB, even in this COVID-19 situation. I even calculated percentage of her possibility leaving SCJ. Although it happened all at once, I couldn't just ignore her, so I called her name, said hi, and left. If she was alone, I might have tried to have conversation with her, but since she was with someone else, I couldn't. When I called her name, the other person was quite surprised. Anyways, I left and went to take a bus. I was so confused, didn't know what to do. I ended up sending a message to her, but as I expected, she didn't reply me back. She didn't even read my message. Time passed by. I didn't even imagine myself being recruited by SCJ members again. Never. This time, I bumped into SCJ members in my town. Honestly, the very first emotion I felt was anger. I felt annoyed seeing them doing NB in my region, thinking, do I have to see those people in my region? Can't I freely stroll around here? This made me feel angry. Moreover, I was furious if other people get caught by them and fell into SCJ. Lastly, I was angry seeing SCJ members doing NB without knowing the reality of SCJ. 3 people approached me and asked for a survey. I was listening to music on the way home. I asked right away, isn't this Shincheonji? They were a bit bewildered, but answered, yes, but can I ask you for a survey? I was bewildered too, since I thought they won't easily admit that they are SCJ. Anyways, I rejected and went my way. But before long, I saw another team doing NB, and one guy was answering their questions. So I approached them and said, isn't this Shincheonji? Then one lady answered, I was about to say that. When I saw her face, I knew who she was. I only knew her name and face. I was ridiculous to hear her answer. I became unpleasant when I arrived home. I had dinner with my friend and was on my way home. I found SCJ members doing NB inside the subway station. 3 people were surrounding one person. An NB tool they were using Wasn't just a simple Google form, but it was a more developed one. I was angry, so I squeezed into them, made an eye contact with the person being recruited, and said, I am former Shincheonji member. This is Shincheonji's survey, so please just leave. I called the station employee and reported that SCJ members are recruiting people at the station. I might get used to being approached by SCJ members, but I wasn't. I never thought I would get recruited again. After I finished work, I was passing by the subway station and few people approached me, explained where they are from, their company name, of course fake. I cannot remember the name. They told me they belong to YouTube content planning team. I had a 100% feeling that those people are SCJ members. I hesitated whether I should ignore them or not, but asked, what's the name of that YouTube channel? There was silence for 2 seconds, and his answer was, actually, this day, I was a bit afraid of meeting SCJ members since I had to go to the same place in which I met them on November 4th. As expected, I found someone being recruited by SCJ members. I was walking fast, but slowed down in order to think what I should do. Just in time, their survey finished and were about to say bye. Fortunately, SCJ members went to the opposite direction, so I approached that girl who was recruited by them and told her, did you do a survey? They are Shincheonji people, so do not answer their message. She said, thank you. She looked young, 20 years old or early 20s. Suddenly, one thought came to my mind, that SCJ members will target high school students who just finished their university entrance exam and felt worried. On the way home, I didn't pass by the same place since I didn't want to confront them again. As mentioned earlier, I had diverse feelings inside me. First, anger. Anger towards Lee Man-hee and the leadership since they are making those SCJ members do MB even at this cold weather, even late at night. And then anger towards Shincheonji members. They say they are saving souls, but when I figured out SCJ is a religious fraud, I realized I am blaspheming against the Holy Spirit if I still stay there, so that's why I left. When I think of countless victims of SCJ, those who are in suffer because of SCJ issue, I feel angry towards SCJ members as well. How would they manage and handle all the issues when they face the reality? I feel stuffed and concerned when I imagine it. On the other hand, I have a hope that although they don't know the truth at this moment, but when they leave SCJ, they can overcome and live a better life, better future. However, I sometimes hate myself. Why do I have to encounter those situations? Why do I have to see those things happen? Why I should do something when I see them doing NB? Even though now many people know about what Shincheonji is, but still there are people being recruited, so I sometimes feel helpless as well. Oppositely, if I were still in SCJ, I would have been doing NB just like them. I felt bitterness, but thankful at the same time. I felt freed since I don't need to recruit people anymore. I suppose I witnessed SCJ members doing NB less than those who left SCJ before COVID-19. I left SCJ last year when COVID-19 situation was at the peak. Those who left before COVID-19, which is before 2020, might have seen many SCJ members within your daily lives. Someone whom you know well inside SCJ, someone whom you only know name or face inside SCJ, seeing SCJ members recruiting people on the streets, holding events to recruit people. I could imagine you avoiding streets or places where you used to go a lot while in SCJ. I also imagine that the phone call I did for the feedback on the bus, interview and counseling I did at a cafe, NB I did on the streets, cell gathering and service I did at a cafe, feedback meeting at a cafe, and etc. there could have been formal Shincheonji member at those places as well. And that person would have been watching at me, hearing what I speak, and have thoughts in mind while seeing at me. Shincheonji members express their recruitment as harvest or harvesting, so they say they are working with harvesters. They pray to God to send harvesters or harvesting angels. Then please pray for wisdom to those harvesting angels so that you don't approach those who already experienced SCJ and left, so that you don't speak to formal members, not wasting time. Formal members will never go back to Shincheonji. According to SCJ doctrine, you guys are harvesting good seeds. They claim those represent good people who are born in God's seed and bring them to God's barn, house, temple. Then how would you explain people who entered SCJ but left? Did harvesting angel made a mistake? Does harvesting angel order you to harvest those who left SCJ even though they're possessed by 7 wicked spirits? SCJ claim those who leave SCJ, their condition will become worse than before, possessed by 7 evil spirits. There are so many contradictions in their teaching. I was recruited once again on my way home after I finished writing this. This time, I just ignored them, but I'm sure I will get recruited again and again in the future. I will witness SCJ people doing NB. Since I encountered them usually at a specific place, I might get anxious when I pass by that place. If someone tells me, then don't pass by that place, my answer would be, why should I avoid them? I won't.